phone. Here we go. There we go. Finally got it. Hey fam, LG here. Our Monday night hot mess to hope. So typically my sissy's with me, but she got tied up tonight, and so I have a super special guest with me tonight. Who are you?
So I don't know if I'm supposed to fill in for hot mess or hope. I'm just gonna be Billy. How about that?
LG and BG. I love LG and BG. So thank you for filling in, because Monday nights are important.
Yes,
And so I'm super excited that we're together doing this, though, for sure. And so for those of you who may not know me, I'm LG LaWanna Green. I'm a weight loss and wellness coach, and so I'm on a mission to help others lose weight, to gain health, conquer food addiction, anything health and wellness related. And that's my passion, my purpose. And my sister and I, we go live Monday nights to talk all things addiction. She's a recovering meth addict, and so we're celebrating with her, 15 months now. It's 15 months now of being clean, and so super proud of her. And so we just kind of hop on and we share our hearts, we share our struggles, our journey, our lives, all those things. And so we had a few weeks ago, because we're both married to Billies, and we had the Billies on. It was super fun, super funny. My brother-in-law, he was hysterical. And so, but it's pretty fitting to have my Billy on for a lot of reasons. But I want to celebrate you first and foremost, because we just finished a 90-day challenge, and you had set a goal to lose 45 pounds in 90 days. And did you do it?
I did. 45.2 to be exact.
So I just have a random question. Like, has anyone ever told you look a little bit like Santa?
I get that every now and then.
Do you?
Yeah.
Sometimes? Yeah. Kind of getting like a little holiday vibe. I don't know. Kind of a holiday vibe. I don't know. I see my sissies watching. I miss you, sissy. I wish you were here.
And it may be on purpose.
Might be on purpose.
Yes. It
might be on purpose. Which reminds me, like, your holiday calendar is filling up pretty quick.
It is.
And so, if you want some time with Santa, then
if anybody would like a Santa visit, let me know.
Yes.
Send me a message. Send her a message. We can get you on the calendar.
I don't really know. I don't know, like, our kids. I think about, obviously, like, we have 3 kids. 2 are grown and doing their own thing. They kind of think they know what's going on with life, I guess. And then we have this little one at home, and I kind of wonder, whenever your mom is like, a network marketing direct sales person, and your dad is Santa Claus, I wonder, like, I guess that's an anything is possible kind of thing, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's kind of a good thing that she's homeschooled, because, career day at school would be kind of interesting.
What are you going to be about? An elf? I don't know.
You're right.
So yeah, super fun. We have an interesting life, and I've shared my story. I've shared, my weight loss journey, losing 88 pounds, going from health crisis to, total health transformation. I've shared that. I've shared our struggles, that involved, us, coming from a situation of poverty, growing up in poverty, carrying that forward. Just that the generational curses, carrying that stuff forward. I've shared that. And then, of course, you becoming disabled. And for 5 years, really not being able to walk without assistance, not being able to work, all those things. And I share those, but I always share it with your permission, because I never want to be disrespectful to you, or disrespectful to, to our lives, to our kids, or whatnot. And so I'm always mindful whenever we are together, and when we're apart and we're talking, I'm just mindful of your heart in that, and your, so I don't ever want to say things that, would cause you to, be mad at me, or cross over some boundary or anything. But you have a lot of really, your story is really interesting when we talk about addiction, and we talk about food addiction. And that's definitely a struggle that you've had. And you've had weight loss success in the past. And I want to talk about, because you losing this 45 pounds it's a huge deal. It's not the first time you've lost 45 pounds.
No. Not at all. I've made it to the 100-pound mark twice.
Yeah.
And the first time was before I got disabled. Lost just like barely over 100 pounds. And, I reached that goal, and then just kept on working. I was working out of town at the time.
So let's go there. I hope everyone can hear, because you're so soft spoken. What? I'm gonna turn this up in case. Not that. Okay. What caused you that initially the 100 pounds? So what caused you initially to lose the first 100 pounds? Oh, what's your sobriety date, Santa? That's funny.
December 26th.
That's funny. That's funny. So, that's funny. So, okay, so initially, and so my weight loss journey started 10 years ago in 2012.
Well, mine did too.
Kinda. You entered the 100-pound club in 2015.
Yes.
So what was the reason for that, for losing 100 pounds?
It was time. Whenever you first started yours, I was working mostly doing field service for when I was working on fire trucks. I was a fire truck mechanic, and traveled pretty much all over the state. And so, just living in a hotel. You don't eat salads in a hotel. Domino's will bring you whatever you want.
You can eat a salad in a hotel.
I didn't say you couldn't. I said you don't.
I
do. So, and I was on the road a lot. We'd stop for fuel, and there's junk food in there,
Yeah.
chips, candy, snacks.
Yeah.
Those beaver nuggets at Buc-ee's.
Darn
Those, it's ridiculous.
It's the almond sugar. It's the cinnamon sugar almonds at Buc-ee's.
And then I got laid off from that position, and I had to find work pretty quick. And the only thing for a certified fire truck mechanic, there was one job open in Texas, and it was in Arlington.
Yes.
So, and I was working for a contractor. We were repairing the fire trucks for the city of Arlington. So, I was living in one of those extended stay motels for a week to 2 weeks at a time.
Yeah.
Kind of the same thing, just not eating healthy. Did that for a little while. Moved into an apartment that I could stay in, come back home on the weekends. And it really wasn't feasible for the family to move with me to Arlington. So I was there by myself during the week.
Yeah.
Just kind of what I always say, I was alone and unsupervised,
That was a stressful time.
It was.
You being gone was a stressful time. Because I was here with all the kids and all the drama. But at the same time, I wonder, and I think about, all the different things a lot, and helping, trying to help others too. But our addiction, we were so, that's what we did. For, we've been married 29 years almost. And so we bonded over food. Everything we did was over food. And whenever, the kiddos were small, and of course, my parents would, be in the house with us, and we would tuck them into bed, and it would be late at night, and our getaway would be to drive through Taco Bell and raid the dollar menu at midnight. And
Whataburger was open all night.
It was open all night. So we're at, and you introduced me to that dadgum ultimate cheeseburger, y'all. And so I haven't had one of those in years, but oh my gosh. And so to have that happen, we were definitely a trigger for one another. And so as hard as it was you being gone, obviously, I think probably that was part that helped to me, I think, probably with my success because we weren't, and you as well, because we weren't
true,
there, feeding on each other's, like being that trigger for each other.
Yeah, and at first I was staying in the room or staying at the apartment all the time. Well, then I started trying to find something to do when I got off work. I didn't work real late, so I joined Arlington APA Pool League, American Pool Association. So I was every night. So I was playing Pool League, and it kept me busy. It kept me. I'd get off of work and then go and practice, go play pool, and and I was doing that, and playing Pool League almost every night.
Yeah,
I was there.
Right.
So I wasn't just laying around eating all the time.
Yeah.
So it was easier for me then, So I was, we had a break room and fridge at work, and and I was taking all of the supplements and started doing the shakes at work, supplements at work, eating a healthy lunch, eating eating right, and then we went to Taylor Hagen's, and I think it was in February that you were there, and you went silver and gold that month, or like right after that meeting.
Yeah.
And it was then I decided that I wanted to reach the 100-pound club, and that was in February.
You wanted to show me up on stage?
And I had 72 pounds to go, and I did it before July.
You did.
And so between February and July, I think it was like 72 pounds, 73 or something like that.
Yeah, I remember walking, because I hadn't seen you in a couple of weeks. Because you weren't able to come home every weekend. Some weekends you were on call. And I remember walking in, and you had gotten to Taylor's early, and I saw you, and I'm like, because you looked so different just in that 2-week time. It was exciting. And I remember there was a lot of, what background noise? I don't know what she's talking about.
It was Tucker.
Oh, it was Tucker. That's funny. So, I remember being really angry with you initially because I felt like you were supposed to be on board with me, doing this with me, and for a long time. It took a long time for you to get, like from 2012 to 2015 for you to finally get your act together, right? And I say that in a loving way. But I was so angry, and I remember, like, I would go in and try to surprise you, at your apartment, and there would be a honey bun wrapper on the floor, and I would just I was filled with rage. Like it was anger. It was so much anger, and I kept thinking, why can he not just do this with me, And it's so odd because I would be so patient and loving and understanding with my clients who were struggling with food addiction, but I couldn't extend that same thing to you. It's like, well, you're just supposed to support me, and if you got to do this to support me, and so it was so silly, and it took a long time for me to get it, and so that makes me feel really bad that I was a turkey about that. I'm sorry. But, it's like, I kind of think like you never expected me to be able to change oil in a car or fix anything on a fire truck. So why would I automatically expect you to be able to just get your weight under control? And I think at that time, Chad really didn't understand what food addiction truly was and how extreme it was. But that was the first time that you lost 100 pounds was super cool. Mm-hmm. But then things just kind of fell apart.
Yeah. I came home not long after that.
He came home. You see, that's it. He came home.
Yeah, came home.
And I could tell when you would cross over the line, the Brazos County line, because suddenly it was
get hungry.
Can I get a cookie? Can I get something? Yeah.
And I couldn't bring beaver nuggets home because I'd eat them all.
You would eat them all for you, huh?
So, but well then, in I guess it was about 2016, between February and April of 2016, all of a sudden I can't walk.
Yeah.
I got home in October of 2015. And then shortly, 6 months later, I can barely walk. I'm using a cane and I can't work. And it was tough. We didn't have anything. And then, the misery and the depression and all of that stuff sets in, and the pity party, I guess, really, really got me. And then I have to figure out what I need. I need a total hip replacement, both of them.
Yeah.
And then I go and see a surgeon, and before that, I'm trying to figure out how we're going to pay for it. So I hear about this program at the Workforce Commission, the vocational rehab service, and it took forever to get on with them.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, I'm just back to old habits and and depression, eating and
not being able to move
and everything,
You're in
and barely
bed.
moving.
Yeah.
And then I go and see this surgeon whenever I finally get approved for this program, and they're going to pay for the surgery, which I'm like, okay, let's do it. And it's like a year later, it seems like, and then the surgeon says, well, I'm not going to do anything until you get down to 280 pounds.
And you had how many pounds to lose to get to 280? 124 pounds.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay.
But you knew what to do. You knew who to talk to.
I
you knew a girl.
I knew what to do. And it
had a girl.
It took a long time, but
it did.
But it happened.
It did.
And
you totally lost 124 pounds.
124 pounds.
And you totally had both hips replaced.
Had both hips replaced. And then the recovery went like.
She says, here comes the good old pain pill addiction. We're going to save that till you're here, sister.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next time you're here. And I had to, and I knew from that, and we'll talk about that later, the pain pills. But I had to quit that.
Yeah.
Before surgery. I knew that. And so I did.
You did.
I quit that while I was going through the weight loss and all of that, and I reached that goal. But then after that, I couldn't go back to work. I couldn't run. I still couldn't do anything.
Were you thinking you would? Like in your mind?
I was thinking it was going to get better faster than it did.
You weren't thinking about the 5 years you didn't move and the muscle atrophy.
And I learned a whole lot about muscle atrophy, and a lot since then. And, it's been over 2 years now since that first surgery.
Yeah.
And I'm coming up on the second anniversary of the second one now. And so in my left side still ain't like it should be.
Sure.
So, and well then, now we're getting depressed again. Right. And I didn't have the pain pills to lean on because I wasn't going to go back down that road. I did not want to do that again. And so I just started leaning on eating wrong, and I leaned on it real hard.
Yeah.
Now the difference is I can get up and cook for myself. But I was using the cane, I was using the walker, and I was still doing it.
And you also had a year ago, you did have COVID, and it hit you.
Oh yeah.
It hit you hard, and you were already trying to, pull away from the cane and trying to do that, and it brought you down, and so that really did not help the situation.
Right.
But you, so you gained back, through that process, you gained back all 124.
Every one of them.
All of them.
Yeah.
And you started hiding.
Yeah, I didn't want to be around anybody.
You weren't going anywhere. it was, I don't know, it was so
And
bizarre.
I
Things are
still
so
worked
weird.
Christmas season, you
Yeah.
know. And if y'all couldn't tell, I like to work. I like to. I get you call it cosplay. uh, so the last two years, the last two seasons, I worked as Santa Claus. The 2 years ago, I worked in a mall in Temple.
Mm-hmm.
It was fantastic. It was a lot of fun. Last year, because of COVID, I didn't work the mall. I decided I'm just going to do kind of freelance, did my own thing. Had a lot more fun doing that, you know, doing photo shoots with different people
Yes.
and all, and that was a whole lot of fun. Private parties were a lot more fun because you could spend more time with each kid. It wasn't just push them through, take a picture, you know, hurry up, get over here and take a picture.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and all that. I get to spend more time with the kids. And so, but after last season,
And I guess it's socially acceptable to be round if you're Santa,
yeah,
and you get to eat all those cookies because they fed you a lot of cookies.
they did.
A lot of cookies.
Everybody likes to give Santa Claus cookies,
Yeah.
and they're not all good though. I'll tell you that. They're not. We did this. I did this party in Austin. Okay, so you know it's going to be weird.
Stop that. We love Austin.
So
Keep Austin weird.
I'm sitting there in this chair, and this little girl, she was 6 years old, cute as could be, and so I said, "Hey, what's your favorite cookie?" And she's like, and I said, "My favorite cookie is chocolate chip." And she goes, "You want a cookie? We have cookies. Mom, can Santa have a cookie?" And she said, "Well, Santa wants a cookie, yeah. Yeah, I'll take a cookie." So she comes back out with two. She runs in the house, comes back out with two cookies. And they're huge, big, thick chocolate, double chocolate cookies. And she sets it down on my glove, right? So I'm trying to keep my gloves as clean as possible. And I take a huge bite of this cookie. As she says, "It's gluten-free."
That's fun.
I said, "It sure
It
is."
sure is. That's fun. That's fun. I love that.
But oh yeah, it was great, and you know, spending that time eating cookies, eating candy canes, and all wasn't good. So after last year, this past season, I decided I was going to put my cane down and start, you know, working harder at getting better. So
I'm
I
gonna steal
was
that.
walking.
Working harder at getting better.
So I started walking on my own. I put my cane down.
Yes.
It's over there somewhere, and I haven't seen it, haven't used it, haven't leaned on it since January, and started working. And I do a lot of walking at work.
Yeah.
And no canes, no nothing.
And I'm so proud of you for that.
And then you know,
it's part time. It's part time, and it's not a big, massive, major thing. You're using it like as your rehab, and you're you know back kind of in your industry where you're with you know your friends and your you know previous colleagues, and you're just having a good time with it. So it's not like you enjoy getting up and going because you're just visiting with people all day, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And so I love that you were able to do something that you could do physically that helps you, you know, as part of your rehab, but also something fun that you enjoy. I keep interrupting you. I'm sorry.
That's all right. But I like it. I'm in and out of the truck all day, walking, and you know, I only work 4 days a week, but I don't lean on my cane anymore, and I'm getting better every week. You know, you know, each work day seems to be easier than it was last week.
Yeah.
And so.
Well, you kind of, even though you had, you know, you were doing that, we had an opportunity because I earned a dream vacation with First Fitness to go to Mexico.
Yeah.
And we're going to go to the Mayan Riviera. And I wanted to go, number one, and I wanted you to go with me. And whenever they had announced this trip and I, you know, started working for it, I was working for it knowing that we were going to go together. And when it came to it, you were like, I don't know that I want to go. And it was freaking me out. But you didn't want to go because you were concerned because you're gaining weight back.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're going to go spend, almost a week with people that saw me lose 100 pounds twice.
Yeah.
And now I don't look like I ever started. So, and I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to be called out. I was thinking the worst. The absolute worst. And
I don't know why you thought that about my people.
But we got there, and these people celebrated the fact that I was walking.
Oh my God, yeah.
It was fantastic.
Because they saw that part too. Saw that part too. Yeah.
They did. And I came back from there, and I was like, you know what? We're doing this. I need to be back to the 100-pound club.
Yeah.
So we came back.
It was so funny because it took 10 years. But when we got back, you said, I need to be a better example for you. And it was like, that was the first time that I felt like you were my partner in this, and it's like we've lived these separate lives.
Yeah, because I wasn't part of your First Fitness world,
right?
And you wasn't part of my industry.
Right.
I worked.
Yeah.
200 miles from here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or in a service truck driving all over the state.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't know the people I worked with.
Sure.
What's
funny is I realized it for a long time. Like, I didn't even know you anymore. And I probably think you probably didn't know me anymore either.
Yeah.
Because there was, when we were going through so much, and we could spend hours talking about just the pain, like the pain that you were in physically, the pain that I was in watching you be in pain, the fear I had because I had to try to make sure that everybody was fed, because you couldn't, and going through all of those things and all the different feelings that you have and the different emotions in that, and we grew apart during that time. It was almost like we were just kind of minute by minute, we just got to get this done, That's kind of how we lived life. It was just, get it done. And now to like, it's like rediscovering each other, or changing, being something different, and just trying to figure out we're finally growing up. I don't know what it is.
I dress up like Santa Claus. You talking about growing up?
But it's so funny. It's like I don't know. It's such a weird thing. So you decided that you were gonna do this.
Yeah.
And so it's so funny, y'all. I was like freaking out because we're going to go through the airport, and this is the first time where he has these titanium hips or whatever, and I'm thinking, he is going to set off the metal detectors at the airport. And we left, where did we fly from? Houston.
We flew out of Houston.
No issues whatsoever.
Walked right through the detectors. They never looked at me. Anything.
But coming back in from Mexico, they went off. And so it was so funny.
And the best part is I can't communicate with any of them.
No, that was, so I'm like going, I don't know what we're going to do. It was funny. But I'm like, whatever. And so all I could do is like take pictures because we had to have that evidence, right? Because deep down I really kind of wanted it to go off because I thought that would be funny, and it really was. And so I took these pictures of him like, standing there. And it's so incredible because that's what we use for your before photo now, and that same shirt. Yeah, and so I just posted a day or two ago. Yes. And so we got back, and I was like, you know what? Let's do something crazy for the summer. Let's do a 90-day challenge with a $500 payout. And I'm like, can I do this? Because I asked permission. It's $500. And you're like, yeah, let's go. And it was so worth it for me because I knew that if it helped you get on track, and that's exactly what you needed. Mm-hmm. And just this group has been amazing.
And we had 40 people join us on
Yes,
this journey.
it was amazing to just have all this accountability, all this encouragement. It's been super amazing. So much so that we're going to do it again. September 25th. So if you want to hop in on our 90-day challenge, we would love, love, love to have you do that. But I was so excited just watching it happen. Seeing this process take place and just watching you set a goal and work so hard to reach it. And the program works. You've done it 3 times, but you're going at it with such a different mindset now. And it's like you're not doing it for because here comes convention and you can, get in the 100-pound club. You're not doing it for, okay, now I have to have surgery, because that's how diets work. You do them short term for a goal to reach, and then once the goal's over, it's whatever. But you're doing it now to live it.
Right.
And so it's just amazing to watch it happen and to see you reach your goal. I mean, seeing a goal.
And we even got COVID a couple weeks ago.
We did, golly. But, I'm super thankful because last year when you had COVID, I thought that, it's like you say, I was planning your funeral, and that's really true because I was, really, that was not a good time, not a good time. And then you've had it again recently, and I just feel like if you weren't moving in this direction, it would have been so much worse.
Absolutely.
So much worse. And so, but I'm super blessed by you and thankful for you and all that you do. And I'm excited to do another challenge.
I'm ready. I mean, I haven't stopped.
No.
This is
no.
I mean, we're day 93 now,
Yeah.
94.
Yeah.
So
Still going.
I haven't stopped.
Yeah. And so, it's crazy because this does happen. We still trigger each other.
Yeah.
We're still battling that. And so if you're someone who struggles with food addiction, I'm not like, I'm a food addict.
Yeah. And we find really, really good things that we can eat.
Yes. But if I'm living in maintenance, which I can't on this end of the journey, I can live life in maintenance, but I can't do that while you're on a mission, while you're not there yet, because my normal whatever, that sends you into a spiral. And so I have to be very mindful of what I do. So it's really, it's been so neat to just, because we're really doing it together.
Yeah.
It's not, I did it then, and okay, I did it, so now it's your turn. It's doing it together. It's demonstrating it. I think it strengthens, it strengthens my belief in what we do, certainly. And it's just fun. It's a lot of fun.
It is. And, let's talk about good food. I got to go back. If anybody's ever been to Fort Worth and you're familiar with the restaurant up there called Pollo Regio. Pollo Regio. My old roommate, he used to say, Pollo Regio. And I was like, that's Reggie's chicken.
Is that Marco?
Yes, that's Marco. It was so good. But going there, I would get the street tacos or the fajitas or whatever. Well, then I'd go there and tell them, let me get a chicken breast salad with ranch and your green salsa and no cheese.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just as good as their fajitas,
Yeah.
And so, I mean, there's things you can do at the restaurants to help you.
Yes.
There's...
Yeah, that's the thing. You're eating real food, and you
Yeah.
can find real food everywhere.
And it's so good. So, because we go now, we'll go somewhere and get a salad, chicken breast, or, just... We know how to go and we know where to go. There's places you can't go and eat good.
That's true.
I don't like. We probably don't have a corn dog 7 anymore, but I bet there's not any good food out there.
Find out now.
But but we cook. I mean, we cook most of our meals here, and they are just fantastic.
Yeah.
It's just really, really good meals. And
so what does it come down to?
It just making a decision and being prepared.
Being prepared.
And that's what I always say, especially people that work, be prepared. If you go to bed tonight and you know what you're going to have for breakfast tomorrow, which, here is going to be a shake, What are you going to have for lunch? If you don't know until you get to work,
Yeah.
then you're short on time. You're stuck making a quick decision. What's quick? Jack in the Box, McDonald's, yeah, those are quick. Those are close. But if you go with your food or with a plan,
Yeah.
then, and stick to it. I'm gonna leave here and I'm gonna go get a salad with chicken breast on it,
Yeah.
And so if you know that, if you're stuck last minute making a decision, you're gonna go back to old decisions. I know that's what I struggled with. If I wasn't ready to decide what I'm gonna have for lunch or supper, I'm gonna make a bad decision.
Yeah.
Because I'm just gonna go right back to old habits.
So for someone who's in the middle of like a serious war, serious battle with their food addiction, and the addiction is winning, what advice would you give them?
I think the same with any addiction, and this is just my thoughts on the deal, is that you just have to decide what your heart is going to be.
What your heart?
Hard.
What your heart is going to be?
It's all going to be hard.
Everything's hard. Pick your heart.
It's hard. For me, my hips giving out, not being able to walk, that was hard. Not being able to move, and that was hard.
Yeah.
Making those bad decisions made it harder.
Yes. In the moment, you don't realize
it.
In that moment,
exactly.
You don't realize it. Yeah, that's what a lot of people say. How were you able to stay so motivated? I'm like, I wasn't motivated. Number one, I was consistent. I trusted the program, and just I became consistent. Now, I wasn't consistent right off the bat. It's a process, but luckily there are people to help you. It's a program for a reason. But really just making that decision to follow through, even when you mess up, even when you fall, just stay with it. Not be afraid to say, "Hey, I need help." I think is huge. Are you concerned at all about being a skinny Santa?
No.
No, that doesn't bother you at all.
No. There, I think I mentioned this before. There's a guy, as Santa, you meet other people who are Santa, their areas or whatever. And there's a guy there's a guy in Mexico, and he went through this big weight loss thing a few years ago, and he said that the people started calling him Flaco Santa, and he didn't know what that meant. He didn't speak Spanish. He just lived in Mexico, but he had no idea what they were calling him. So he finally got somebody to translate for him and look it up, and it was Skinny Santa, And I said, well, I guess I need to be Flaco Santa because I'm Gordo Santa right now, and, so
that's fun.
There's going to be a Flaco Santa in Texas.
That's funny. I'm super proud of you. I really am. For all of it.
I'm proud to be doing it. I'm proud of you.
Well, thank you.
Because, you keep me going, keep me motivated.
It's because I don't cook nothing. Not really. Get a shake. Make her shake. Not really. I don't do that. We eat every day. We eat real food every day.
That's right.
Anything else? Get on his calendar. If you want on his calendar.
Well, yes. Local, any night of the week, swing by, and visit with the kids. They love it. And got a real suit.
You have a real suit.
Real hat.
He's a real thing.
Real magic.
Real magic. Got some magic. Yeah. Got some magic. Also having, so Thursday night this week, we're having a healthy happy hour. We're going to do you're going to make some cool shakes.
Yes.
We're going to make maybe some loaded teas or something and try to figure that out. Just have a good time. So I
have a couple of my favorite shakes that I want to make and kind of share some recipes.
So if you want to come sample with us, just kind of fellowship and have a good time about 6 o'clock Thursday night, comment below and I can let you know where to go. Or I think I posted a thing earlier today. Other than that, our 90 days starts on the 25th. We'd love to have you join us on that. And of course, my baby sister, she's on here, just talking it up. But if you are struggling with any kind of addiction, if it's, drugs or alcohol, and you are looking for some help, we can certainly put you in the right direction there. Put you in contact with people that can certainly help you, because you are worthy and deserve the very best. And so, with that, thanks for hanging out with us Monday night. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Oh yeah, and there's only 16 Fridays until Christmas, in case you were wondering.
Is that true?
16 Fridays.
16 Fridays until Christmas?
16 Fridays.
But it's still hot outside.
I don't care. It's coming, ready or not.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
What? It's not going on. There it is.